One of our lead stories tonight, Nigeria's annual inflation rate continued to accelerate to reach an over 18-year high of 26.7% in September 2023, up from August 25.8%, mainly attributed to second-round effects of the removal of fuel subsidies and the devaluation of the Naira against the greenback of both the official and parallel markets. Prices of food in the CPI basket jumped to 30.6% in September from 29.3% in the prior month, also linked to security issues in food-producing regions. The annual core inflation rate, which excludes farm produce, climbed further to 22.1% in September, quickening from 21.2% in August. On a monthly basis, consumer price rose by 2.1% in September, following a 3.2% surge in the prior month. Joining us to better understand this is a chartered accountant, Akin Fatunke. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much, Felicity. Good evening, Nigerians. Nice to be here.
Nigeria's September inflation rate is now 26.75%. Did you expect this almost 2 decades rise?
26.72%. Yes, I expected that because we were not producing. And we had so many other leakages, both fundamental and some that are latent, that was all staring us in the face. The components of the food factor inflation there, you don't need to be a rocket science economist, just need to be an average farmer to know that you've not been going to the farms. We have security issues. We had issues of speculation. Okay, first, you actually mentioned it. We removed the subsidy thing without specific timeline, and we're going to try and align the exchange rates again without some other timelines. Unmindful of the fact that it will have what economists call ratchet effects. The labor were going to go out there on strike. Poverty kept on moving at various dimensions. The Lagdo Dam issue keeps on flooding, and we kept on our population trajectory without necessarily importing. And then we had a palette of what you call an import dependent a test that was not going to help. No economy would have been able to survive that. So am I surprised? No, I'm not surprised, because a matter of fact, if you are looking at year on year, where we had about 5.9% as at September versus September last year, it tells you that the trajectory is continuing. You said 18 months high. Unless if something is drastically done, we are going to be moving into inflation galloping, regalloping.
Talking about something to be drastically done, what would you advise the government to do to term the inflation apart from raising interest rates?
Simple. One, we speak to ourselves, and I'm beginning to see situations where, for the very first time, in spite of the shenanigans that we see that is happening, we have people that are talking to us. We have a commissioner of finance that is speaking out there in Marrakesh and sending a signal back home that the FEC meeting of today, we are going to be ratifying a few things in relation to the IMF 1.5 billion facility that is going on. Sending a signal to a Taiwo Yedele, for instance, that is looking at tax, and also sending clear signals to the central bank governor. We are not having this. Or perhaps it was happening. Well, we didn't know. And that gave rise to speculation. So we need to curb our appetites seriously, to go back into local production, rev up security. That will not necessarily happen overnight, but we are already in those trajectories. And then communication to drive and wipe away speculators who are distorting what should be the real value for the currency, for FX. Finally, we need to be a bit much more patriotic. In saying, for instance, the 43 items should now come back, is an indication that we are not being competitive. Prices are going through the roof. We're not producing enough. Bag of rice is 50 Naira per bag. And so you need to free competition. However, while you are doing that, you are picking your needle to ensure the physical and the policy is having the appropriate keys, as they say, raising rates, make sure when this come in, you are raising a tariff in an appropriate way so that you don't crowd out some of the gains ordinarily that we would have made in some of those rice mills that has developed. We need to be a bit more patriotic, and we need again to begin to do what Mr. Cardoso has clearly said. I am a central bank governor. I am going to be going to my core mandate to advising governments on how to stabilize the foreign currency, not to be going through ways and means.
All right.
Breaking rules on fiscal reform. That is what I am going to be asking government to do.
All right.
Come out there, say it exactly as it is, and let the whole world know that we are in a quagmire. Don't let us continue to pretend as if things are going on fine with us.
All right, Akin.
In our hands.
Thank you very much for speaking with us.
Thank you very much, Felicity. It will be well.